Yamaha presents The Whitetail Diaries, chronicling hunting adventures of the most plentiful and intelligent big game animal in North America. Join top whitetail hunters nationwide. Embark on the amazing adventure that is hunting the whitetail deer. The Whitetail Diaries Deer Camp is a source for pride for host Wade Middleton and the Whitetail Diaries crew. Through hard work and dedication, they've been able to create a land management program that has created a habitat for some phenomenal free-range whitetail and other animals. Some of the Whitetail Diaries' favorite hunts through the years have been right here on the property. And today, the crew is passing the torch to some of their young counterparts for the annual Whitetail Diaries Kids Deer Camp.
Youth hunting is something that is near and dear to a lot of people's hearts, and we really enjoy when we have a bunch of kids out at the camp because it's refreshing in the sense of the way they look at things. They want us out there playing wiffle ball and playing and goofing off more so than it is spending hours and hours in the stand. And that mix of youthful exuberance and change that they bring to a deer camp is pretty refreshing.
Let's meet our young hunters. Our youngest and most rambunctious hunter is Brett Nicholas. Brett is 11 years old, but already an avid outdoorsman.
Brett's kind of a loose cannon. He's never met a stranger. He's a real people person, and he can get along with anybody.
And next up, we have two 12-year-olds in the house, Jack Gartner and Hunter Shawd.
Hunter is a really good kid. Like most 12-year-olds, he's full of energy and sometimes lacks a little focus. But what's exciting for me, we get in that blind and it's like he turns on the A game and he just has this other personality that just gets really intense. He wants to do well. As a parent, you're really proud.
Jack, I give the kid a lot of credit. He's not all about the antlers. He enjoys being out there. He enjoys seeing big bucks, but it's certainly not a failure to him if he doesn't kill a big bruiser buck.
Now our oldest boy is Matt Nicholas. Quiet and calm, Matt takes his hunt seriously and is intent on taking a good buck this year.
You know, Matt's a special kid. He's a great ball player. He works really hard. Straight A student. He's a lot of fun to be around. You know, he's getting to that age right now where he's starting to get maybe a little bit smarter than me, or at least thinks he is. And you know, he deserves to get out and have some fun, and I think this is really a great reward for him for as hard as he works.
And on the young ladies' side, we have a veteran, Paige, who is no stranger to deer camp and had a stellar double lung shot on a great buck with her bow here only a few short years ago.
Oh, perfect.
My daughter Paige, she's a senior in high school now, and she's going to University of Oklahoma next year. And hunting's always been a part of her life. And you know, in the last 4 or 5 years now, you know, she likes to shoot a bow. And I would have never thought I could say this, but now if I'm hunting and you know, I'm up there even by myself and a good deer walks in, I think, man, I wish Paige was. You know, you know, boy, that one's set up. I wish Paige was there. So that has added a lot to hunting for me.
The Yamaha Whitetail Diaries is brought to you in part by Yamaha ATVs and side-by-sides, real world tough. Cabela's, it's in your nature. Garmin, the power of simple. And by Nikon Sport Optics.
In the world of ATVs, there's tough. Then there's Yamaha, real world tough. For the most rutted out trails, the hardest working farms, and the most remote hunting terrain, Yamaha Grizzly ATVs with electric power steering. Real world tough.
Pawlowski, Smith & Wesson Consumer Program Manager and World Champion Shooter.
Joe Zanetti, Smith & Wesson Finishing Specialist and lifelong hunter.
Jim Dalton, Smith & Wesson Master Gunsmith. I shoot competitively, and so does my son.
Our people, our products, our passion. Smith & Wesson.
Get lost in the hunt, not the wilderness. Hunt with Garmin.
Welcome back to the Yamaha Whitetail Diaries. Well, it's the annual Whitetail Diaries Kids Deer Camp, and well, we're ready to have some fun in the field. All of the kids in the field today have been properly taught gun safety and proper ethical harvesting practices, which is imperative when taking any kids hunting.
When it comes time to go to the hunting camp, it's really a great opportunity to teach kids about firearms, teach kids about the traditions of hunting, teach them about what firearms can do, how to shoot a bow, how to sight a rifle in. All those different things have been passed on for generations, and it doesn't matter whether you start a kid at 3 or 4 years old or you start them as a teenager. It's just a great time to be afield with a kid to share that time.
This is really a lost situation in the country today. I think it's one of the things that makes hunting so special is the camp environment and bringing the people together and sharing stories, sharing experiences, the heartbreaks of a missed shot to the success when somebody brings an animal in.
Hunting memories and the memories you get when you're hunting and fishing with your kids, you'll never forget it. This week and these few days of hunting, it's about Paige and I. She'll never forget it, and I won't either.
Let's head out in the field with Ranger Boat's Bart Shawd and his son Hunter, who is changing up his strategy this year.
This is Hunter's 4th year hunting. He's been very fortunate every time out. He's taken an animal. After last year, we went back and Hunter said, yeah, I really want to get a new bow, practice, and be able to come back and take a deer with the bow. And he did, and he really did. He'd focused on it, he practiced on it. When he got here, we were fortunate to have Jeff Crete and Wade here that were also bow guys and could kind of help tune him up. So it was really good.
Hunter's first sit in the pop-up ground blind went well, but he learned a tough lesson on the drawback. Well, now that he's more comfortable about how things will go down, Hunter is back in the blind and ready to take his doe.
Sure enough, we got in there, got resituated. Hunter was having troubles being able to draw back. He practiced a few times. We got real fortunate and had a beautiful big doe come in and get in the right position for him.
You hit her. You stuck her in the shoulder. I think you stuck her in the shoulder. Good job.
That was awesome. Coming here it's cool because we can get away, just me and him just have time out here. And I was very excited. It was my first bow kill. It was awesome.
I think it's been one of my favorite hunts that I've ever been on personally, for myself or with him, just because I know there was a lot of work that went into it on his part, and to see him commit to a style of hunting, a method of hunting, know that we're going to go out and try to take a doe, and all the preparation that went into it. And that's a big thing for a 12-year-old.
Hunter Shawd got his first doe with a bow. Let's head over to another part of the property, lovingly referred to as the killing tree, where Paige Crete and her dad Jeff are set up in a tripod stand ready for her bow hunt.
Well, this year we tried to mix it up a little different. Jeff and I actually climbed up in a ladder stand side by side, put the camera up, you know, shooting over Paige's shoulder while she was trying to knock an animal down, and it was just a really fun way to spend a day and a half together.
First doe I shot was at the killing tree, so whenever we went back this time, it kind of felt like, I don't know, it almost felt like we were walking back to a good memory.
We were hunting, you know, if we saw a good buck, we were gonna hunt a good buck, but wanted to shoot a doe too. We eat a lot of deer at our house and we're completely out. So, you know, we had some does come in and she was real patient. You know, I ranged it and I was able to kind of tell her with my hands, you know, how far it was. The deer was 26 yards and she did such a great job.
That feeling, whenever, you know, you draw back and you're waiting, you're like, oh God, please just let this, you know, help me get this arrow where it's supposed to go. And you shoot, and there's that moment of, like, you know, you might have feel like, oh man, I screwed that one up, or sometimes it's that one like, man, I got it. And I look back at my dad and he'll be like, and I'm like, yeah. I don't know, it's a good feeling. Not a lot of other feelings can really compare to that.
You really got a good eye for her. She saw the first bud that I wouldn't say, but the truth of it is, the deer's right there. But I'm gonna go and let her track it away.
Let's meet up with Jack Gardner and his dad, Ted, who are set up in a makeshift ground blind on turkey chairs and already seeing lots of deer traffic.
You know, for Jack, he'd had great success the year before. But on this hunt this year, you know, Jack had come down with the same energy, the same excitement that he always shows up with, and we had him set up in a ground blind. And this whole little setup, I knew that it was going to challenge Jack, but I knew that he'd also learn from it as a hunter because the deer were literally going to be right in his lap every time he sat down.
Last year, Jack took his first buck on an episode of the Whitetail Diaries, and with the help of the Garmin Astro and a tracking dog named Belle, well, Jack got to take that buck home. This year, he's hoping to repeat that success. More deer camp fun when the Whitetail Diaries returns. Give you and your family peace of mind in the outdoors with a complete line of Garmin products at Garmin.com. Garmin, the power of simple.
My passion is rim fires. Which is why I hold the spot-on advantage. And there are a million more like me, using spot-on to build confidence when shooting farther with more precision than ever before. The next generation of shooting accuracy has arrived. Join us.
In the world of ATVs, there's tough. Then there's Yamaha, real world tough. For the most rutted out trails, the hardest working farms, and the most remote hunting terrain, Yamaha Grizzly ATVs with electric power steering. Real world tough.
That's what's cuts.
Sahit Watila.
Aha.
Unlike farmers, hunters usually only get to plow and plant their food plots on weekends. So the number one complaint is that the plot didn't come up or the stand was thin. Delta Ag has developed a three-step process that focuses on the soil, seed, and plant. And after many years of real-life situations, Delta Ag has found this concept to be a solid foundation to build crop performance from the ground up. For more information, visit our website at seedcoat.com or see your local dealer.
It's for those who get up early on weekends and those who'd rather rough it than take it easy. It's for those who know it's not just a sport, but a way of life. The new Food Saver Game Saver vacuum sealing system keeps food fresh up to 5 times longer with a rugged design and 12-volt adapter cord for easy use in the field, ensuring your game and fish is fresh when you need it. The Food Saver Game Saver vacuum sealing system. Fielded fresh, sealed fresh.
The Yamaha Whitetail Diaries is brought to you in part by Bradley Smoker. Food smoking made easy. Smith & Wesson, made in the USA since 1852. Danner Boots, an American tradition since 1932. Thompson Center Arms, America's master gun maker.
Yeah. We leave you and Hunter here at the lodge by yourself. There won't be nothing left of you.
We're hanging out with friends and family for the annual Whitetail Diaries Kids Deer Camp.
The past couple of times we've been out here, there have been, other people, but usually it's just like one or two, couple of other kids, but there were a lot this time.
Deer camp is just really relaxed and fun. It's just really cool.
A 12-year-old Jack Gardner and his dad Ted found out the challenges of being in a ground blind.
We were probably sitting there in our ground blind for well over an hour, I imagine. And then finally we started getting a couple does that creeped in. We had about 4 does come in, and you could tell that they were kind of looking, some of them were looking at us, and then some others were kind of focused elsewhere, and that led me to believe that there was at least one more deer back there, and as it turns out there were 2 bucks.
One of the bucks moved into position, but a doe came right in front of him and completely blocked me. So I was trying to find a way that I could shoot the buck, but the doe was just right in front of him.
It seems like it lasts forever. I'm sure it only was about 5 minutes or so, but as he was, shouldering his gun and drawing down on this deer, the sandbag kind of, slipped off.
I can't get back to my sticks.
Part of me was really crushed by that. Another part of me felt kind of glad about that. He's been very lucky the last 2 years to shoot the deer that he shot. And really, I think he needs to see that hunting is not like going to the grocery store. And it was a good lesson for him. And I think hunting in general is a good lesson, for youngsters and in life.
Although Jack was hoping to get a chance at his second buck, he knows that's not the most important thing.
It can be really, really frustrating when you don't get it. But on the brighter side, it just makes you want to come out and try it again.
Well, we started off at a different stand this morning. It was the last morning of the hunt. And boy, I'll tell you what, we barely got in our blind before the deer started showing up. But it was too early. I mean, not only was it too early for TV, it was just too early to shoot. So we kind of passed on them. We thought, you know what, we'll wait a little bit longer. Well, that little bit longer turned into about an hour and a half, 2 hours. I'm just thinking to myself, God, Jack has really hunted hard this whole trip. He's kept a positive attitude. He's passed up some routine shots that he could have had. And I'd love to reward the kid with a deer. And so lo and behold, I looked at my watch, and about 2 or 3 minutes before it was time to go, and 2 does and a spike come in.
I was pretty content with just getting a doe. That ended up happening. A buck is nice, but my grandpa always says you can't eat antlers. And what we were looking for that trip was just some meat on the table, and that's exactly what we got.
Way to go, man.
Yeah.
Well, so far the kids at Deer Camp have knocked down 3 does. When the Whitetail Diaries returns, we'll get our first buck of the trip. Now, when it comes to wildlife management products and services related to raising big whitetails, you don't have to look any further than Mummies Incorporated. Located in South Texas, Mummies has been the leader in wildlife management products for over 20 years and know what products it takes to get the job done right. We're the largest independent dealer of Purina's Antler Max line of deer feeds, in addition to our famous brand of Mummy's deer corn that's utilized on ranches all across South Texas. We have a wildlife specialist on staff to answer your deer management questions and help you out with your deer program. At Mummy's, you're a part of the wildlife family and not just a customer.
We try to be here for more than just some place to stop and pick up feed. We're here to answer anybody's questions and any kind of wildlife-related instances.
Before you make your next purchase of any wildlife-related items, be sure to check out our website at www.mummiesinc.com to see how we can help you out.
They said TC couldn't build a bolt-action rifle. Well, build it we did. That it couldn't be more accurate than the classics, so we guaranteed our accuracy. They said that at that price, it must be made overseas. Nope, 100% made in America. Then they experienced TC's venture and said, it can't get any better. Wrong again. When it comes to bolt-action rifles, it's time to stop listening to your grandfather's gun company and experience the TC venture for yourself. From America's master gunmaker, Thompson Center.
Welcome back to the Yamaha Whitetail Diaries. Now, along with the fun, the kids have worked really hard this week to stay focused out on the field and try to make good shots. Let's meet up with the Nicholas boys, 11-year-old Brett and 14-year-old Matt, who are here with their dad, Billy.
Let's head back over to that box blind that we hunted in last night and see if we can get one of those big does to come out. Work for you?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go. She took off like she was. You think you got her? Feel good?
You know, I reached over and grabbed his shoulder, and I could feel his heart pumping through his arm. So, you know, I know how excited they get, and it's a great feeling.
With 4 does in the freezer, let's head out to the ground blind for the last hunt with Matt Nicholas.
Billy and them ended up going to the exact same spot that Jack did and hunted, but we moved the location. We moved it back further away. We learned from, you know, what Jack had to deal with where he was a little bit too close. We got them back a little bit and they had some fun hunting opportunities there.
It was Matt's turn to be the shooter. So we put him in position, and not long after daylight, we had a few does start moving out. And then we had some young bucks come in. And then we knew that we had a mature buck come in. You could tell by his body shape that he was an older deer. Still didn't have enough light to really pick out what he was and make sure of what we were dealing with. In the meantime, waiting on daylight, we had 2 or 3 more bucks come in. Had another mature buck that came in behind him, and decided that either one of these bucks was a good buck to take. Finally, I don't know if it was luck or misfortune or what it was, but something spooked the deer. And all the deer pretty much ran into the brush, with the exception of one of the mature bucks and another deer that stayed there. And he was looking up, and he got pretty excited at that time because I knew he wasn't going to stay around long.
Take him. Take him. You think you got him?
Yeah.
I did too. It looked like he hit pretty hard, so I'll give him a few minutes.
I was feeling kind of nervous because, you know, it's a far shot kind of, and hadn't shot like that before, so low to the ground. And then once I shot it and saw it was hit hard, I was pretty excited.
To me, it's exciting every time. To see them look over at you after they shoot and they know they hit their deer and their grin on their face is, as much as Matt tries to be cool. You know, I know his excitement because I know him. It's a great feeling. It's a great feeling.
Spent a lot of time out here in the woods looking for him, so scrapper, that's for sure. That's awesome, brother.
Yep.
What do you think?
Well, that was another successful entry in the Yamaha Whitetail Diaries. All of the kids got to get away from the city and have a great time in the outdoors with their dads.
I know that we're creating memories that will last an absolute lifetime. And that's really neat when you know at the time something's happening that this is going to be a memory that the child has forever.
You just don't ever get that time back. And I don't want to be 20 or 30 years down the road and say, you know what, I wish I would have done this, because those years only last for so long.
Any opportunity we get, you know, we're busy. Everybody's busy, but you've got to take the time and to be in the woods or be on the water with your kids. It's a very special time.
You know, she's going off to college, so who knows? Hopefully we'll get another hunt or two in. You know, but if this was the last one, it was a good one.
Thanks for joining us. Join us next week, won't you, for another exciting entry in the Yamaha Whitetail Diaries. Want to win a hunt? It's simple. Find Whitetail Diaries on Facebook and click the like button. You can follow along with Wade and the crew in the field and be eligible to win tons of sponsor giveaways and your chance to enter the Win a Hunt with Wade Middleton sweepstakes.
You always have to watch out for the Chicopatra.
You ripped off my shelf, dude.
Sorry.
Chuka Nubra.
You fart a lot.
Chupacabra.
Yeah, you said it right.